and you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. Uh, yeah, yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
I set the bar really low at the NBA predictions.
I don't think all Mavs fans look into the stats like I do.
It's not the great value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I don't know if Nick Nurse is the coach for the Raptors. I don't know if he's the reason why they won the 2019 championship. I feel like that was more of a team effort.
The Mavs cannot say we do not miss Seth Curry shooting threes.
This questions the firing of Dwayne Casey, who I think is a very underrated coach.
To me, the Capitals really pushed all their chips for this season.
Hello, I'm Mike Grimes, and you've been listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the week. It's been a little bit, but it's been a quiet winter meetings until today when I got to break the news to Austin about the trade we will be discussing and other Yankees moves. Austin.
Yeah, I'm excited. It still has to be officially finalized, which is probably why I didn't hear it before you did. But if that does go through, that completely changes, I think, the direction of the team. Because last year was so disappointing for the Yankees. I think making a Soto move definitely would increase morale in the fan base.
Yeah, and my only question is, it seems like the Yankees, they officially got Verdugo, which cost them some pitchers, and Soto, it looks like, is a lot of pitchers. So I'm curious on what they do to supplement that.
Yeah, I think they're not done in free agency, and I think we will see them sign some guys. But also, we had a lot of guys coming back from injury that weren't included in those trades that will be getting back this season. But starting pitching depth, I know that I'll mention it here that Luis Severino signed with the Mets. Even though Severino was very bad for us last year, I appreciated how good he was before that. But last year he was not good. But we still need starting pitching depth, and that's definitely something that we are lacking at the moment. So I don't think we're done at free agency. And if they don't add enough pitchers, I know that we have some guys in the minors that will call up.
Okay, yeah, that's my only concern. But yeah, adding Soto is great. He's a really good hitter, and I don't think he's just a home run guy, which adds something to the offense that has been missing.
Yeah, he's a guy who gets on base consistently. Him and Judge both are really high on base percentage, and that outfield is now going to be amazing, especially with the year. I know Jason Dominguez will be out this entire season, but long term, if they could keep Soto, which it looks like he's going to go to free agency no matter what when free agency hits for him, but a long term situation where Judge is in right, Dominguez is in center, and Soto is in left, I think would be a historic outfield.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, and it seems like an older style Yankees move. The only question I have before we go to Verdugo is, so I'm assuming Stanton and Soto are going to split time in the field and at DH.
Not really. I mean, Stanton may play a little bit in the field, but he's mainly been a DH for the large majority of the last two seasons, whether that's because of his speed, health, or other aspects. It just seems like he's going to be sometimes in the field, but I think it'd be more to give Judge some rest as well, because Judge will probably be playing center this season because of Dominguez's injury, and he has experience in center. Then Verdugo would probably play left or right, and Soto the other.
Okay, yeah, I saw something that said Verdugo was going to be in center. It was like a tweet.
I don't necessarily know if that's going to be what's happening. Verdugo hasn't played enough center in my mind, at least in this ballpark. I would be more comfortable with with Judge. The last 2 years, Verdugo's played no time in center at all. Last year, he mainly played right, and the year before that, left and right. But I don't think I'd be comfortable with him being the guy for center. I think that would be most likely going to Judge.
Yeah, and Judge is the better center fielder. It's just like, how much time do you want to give him? Give himself some rest, as he dealt with injuries this past year, but in his MVP year, he was healthy.
Yeah, that's true. He's starting to get more healthy overall. We just have to see whether or not that he can improve upon that. Because while he is amazing, he's only good when he's on the field.
Yeah, and that was we saw what the Yankees were without him. But now I think having Soto really can help you on the days off, or if for some reason Judge isn't in the lineup.
Yeah, because if he isn't in the lineup, that'd be a huge hole that hopefully Soto can fill. It's going to be a big team effort, though. Last year without Judge, we were much worse off. So even if we have Soto, which it looks like we will, I don't necessarily feel comfortable in a lineup that has extended time without Judge.
Yeah, I agree. You're always gonna lose it. It's you're always gonna miss his presence because he's just that type of player. But it's just how well can you deal without it? And then on to Verdugo. This last year was worse than the previous 3 years. 2020, he had a 300 batting average, but um, that was the shortened season. But in 2021, 289, 2022, 280. OPS plus was around 100. Um, and then last year was 264. So I think the Yankees are hoping they get a better, the 2022-2021 version. Hopefully the 2020 version, but just a serviceable player in right.
Uh, yeah, I completely agree. They but he'd still be better than some of the outfield options we had last year because of injury. His OPS plus was only 100 last year, 102 before that, 107 before that, and then like you said in the 2020 season, 123, which was the best of his career. I don't necessarily expect him to be tremendous, but him being a lefty bat in a short porch and right, I do think checks out, and I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if he can hit a little bit more homers than he did the past couple seasons because he has that short porch.
Yeah, and then on to how do you feel about fielding wise with this outfield?
Soto has been a very good fielder the past couple seasons. Verdugo, on the other hand, only has zero point 0.6 WAR DWAR for his career. Last year was 0.5, so that did a majority of it. The year before that, though, negative 1.2. He can be on and off. I'm definitely not concerned necessarily with him having horrible fielding, but I also don't believe that he is on the level of a couple of other guys we've had in right over the past couple of years. Soto didn't have as good of a defensive season last year as he had previously. He had a negative season, but I think that's also because of the park he played in. I think will be serviceable in left. It's really going to come down to Judge, who is definitely the best fielder out of any of the three of them, and so getting used to Yankee Park and this team, I think, will be really big for Soto and Verdugo because the outfield isn't as easy to play as some people think, especially in center, which is why I think Judge should play there.
Yeah, I understand your point with Judge, and yeah, I agree. Verdugo's not a great defender, and then I know Soto, that was kind of a problem, um, kind of through his career, but it seems like he's moved to left. A lot of people, I remember when he was in right, but it looks like left field is not as taxing, and he's there for his hitting because he's a fantastic hitter. It's just, can you get by with the fielding? And then, yeah, I'm very curious. The Yankees probably aren't done, given the it was a disappointing season for them, um, just given their track record.
100%. You definitely don't want to see a Yankee team that had so much promise, have one of the best players in the league, and then end up missing the playoffs. That's just not what you anticipate.
Yeah, so that's all I got. I'll let you close this out with final thoughts.
Yeah, we'll see how this works out. The trade was definitely something I didn't expect to hear today, so that was great news, and we'll hopefully see it go through. But how do you guys feel about the Yankees trade? Do you think it works out? Do you think that we see another season of disappointment? But thank you guys for listening, and check us out in the next video.